Keshan, you're
Hello.
here.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining me today.
Of course.
It's definitely interesting to have you in this chair. We've kind of known about each other for a minute.
Yeah.
You've had an interesting journey, and we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, can you just state your name and what you do for the people who don't know who you are? And if you don't know who he is, you're living under a rock. Please go ahead.
And my name is Keshan. I'm an artist out of the GTA, specifically Brampton, Ontario. And yeah, I just make music. I write other music for other artists and produce. And yeah, pretty much.
So yesterday was a big day.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you dropped a couple albums yesterday.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we're going to talk about before, like, the beginning. You know, I feel like doing research on you, like, you've been in music, you know, since, what, 2015?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah. So I want to talk about the journey a little bit of who you were before you started doing music. What does that look like?
Honestly, just sports, man. Like basketball. I was kind of always in the like dance world as well, like choreographed dancing. So it was.
Are
cool.
you a dancer?
Yeah, hip hop. Not anymore.
Oh, not anymore.
Like, yeah, definitely not now.
You can't teach me any moves.
No.
Oh, okay.
I will go bad. But yeah, you know, it definitely just sports, dancing, school, just chill, you know.
So growing up in the Greater Toronto area, because I feel like you're Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, how did that shape you as an artist and as a person, like going towards this? Like, how is that influence what's going on?
Honestly, it was amazing because we have so many artists from here, right? Like we had Tori, we have Toby, we have Drake, we have Party, we have Roy Woods, we have so many people. Like everybody's kind of in the same space, and everyone has mutuals. So it's like yeah, like we're just feeding off of each other at this point because now you know we might see someone that we know produce a certain record or whatever, or make it to a certain point. It just like it's inspiring, right? So.
Those are some pretty big names that you just dropped that you're like, you know, we are all in the same space.
Yeah,
what does
100%.
it feel like to be in that space with that group of individuals? Because that's no joke.
Honestly, it feels a bit strange at times because you meet people before they get to a certain point and it's like it feels normal. You feel comfortable and you're just creating. So you know, you never really know how far a song is going to go. And then next thing you know, this person that you just saw yesterday is like, has a massive song. And it's like, I just saw this guy, like literally outside the other day. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of strange at times, but it's cool.
It must be interesting to be able to be in rooms with people like that and be so inspired.
Yeah.
Right? So like, because I mean, energy is everything. I really feel like music and fashion go hand in hand.
100%.
I really believe that back in the day, like between like the 1999 and 2000s, like the original fashion films were those old R&B videos and like it speaks to you. And I feel like your album, the one that you dropped, like it speaks, do you know what I mean? Like there's a purpose to that. Like there's a whole story. But before we get into that, where do you think that this journey that you've been on to lead you to this moment right now, you know, like what was so influential, the meaning behind this album? Because there's definitely a story, but there's something that sparked it. Because you haven't done music in a minute, and then you just like it's fire. By the way, I'm obsessed. I'm so like I remember your assistant. She sent me your the links to it, and I went to. There's a song called Vogue.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is the first song I'm going to play because obviously, you know, I'm known in the fashion world and Canadian fashion.
Yeah.
And when I heard your voice, I was like, dang. And I hadn't really, I've heard the music before, but there was definitely a different energy behind that. Can you speak to that?
I think that's just more so me finding my sound. I think earlier on when I was making music, I was just experimenting a lot. And I just put out whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I like how it sounds. I'm going to put it out. But it wasn't necessarily like me honed in on a sound.
You've definitely found your sound.
Yeah, now I'm like, I know what I need to do when I'm making music. And if I'm going to record, like I know how to approach things a lot better. So that's part of it. And yeah, I think so.
As your career grew from 2015 to now, which song on the album speaks to that to most?
Can't Go Back, I would say, the last song.
The last song. which is The Run. So we were talking about this earlier as we were preparing to come into this podcast.
Right.
The way that you've listed all the songs, like, do you know what I mean? There's a story. Like, I listened to Vogue, and then I listened to Love Somebody, and we're going to unpack that song too, because there's something there. And it really brought me back to, there was a story you were telling, and your words, and everything that you were saying. So it really made me want to go, which is really smart, to listen to every single song as you're going through. So when you're explaining all these things, like, you've definitely had some trouble with some women.
100%. 100%. I'm sure a lot of men out there can relate to that, you know?
There's one line on Love Somebody. It's, it goes, this ain't nothing but hustle. Where is it? I have it.
My phone's blinging.
Yeah.
I think I'm causing some trouble. I think I'm cheating, but I'm working a double.
Yes. It's so, I was like, damn. I had to go back and replay that. And I feel like every woman at some point, you know, obviously if you're dating an artist and, you know, you've been in the industry, if you're not picking up the phone, it's the insecurities of a woman, right?
Yes.
They think that you're cheating, but really, so you're just trying to get the bag and like get it done. And yes, there are people who do that, but your energy is really pure. And I feel like you ran into some situations like that, right?
Yes.
But that line was a banger for sure. I was just like, damn. But also, you write all your own lyrics, right? The process of that, did the songs come at different times? Did you what was the creative process for writing this album? Because you've listed them in a way which tells a story. Right. But I guess maybe you were inspired different ways too, right?
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that?
So the album, Nicest Villain pretty much comes from me just living life. I'm not an artist that like lives in the studio. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not in the studio unless I have something to say. So I pretty much just live life, let life happen. And when I have things on my chest, I'll just get it off. So it got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get these things off my chest, have like a little bit of a capsule of, you know, music and go through it and see how this makes sense at some point. And once we had so much songs, it got to a point where it was overwhelming. So I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just pause this and see what project we can make out of all of the songs that we have, right? So that's how Nicest Villain kind of came about, and there's a common theme throughout all of the songs, but of me being a villain, but I'm not really you know what I mean?
Well, that's because it's Nicest Villain, right? Like, because I guess it's the persona of what someone, I guess, makes up in their head, which is their own insecurities. And women do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, straight up, I can admit that we can see that, but it's understanding what that looks like. So when you say Nicest Villain, so you've lived with this project, this album, now that it's transitioned, it's been out for, I don't know, 24 hours. By the time this podcast goes out, maybe a couple of weeks. Yeah. How does it feel to have that out in the public now? Do you feel this energy release? Like,
I feel a relief. Yeah. A relief, because, like, even my whole team, like, shout out Deaden, Ray Stevens, and LaGill, they're always like, my entire team's like, you need to drop the music. And I'm just like, guys, it's not finished yet. Like, we're not at I don't feel like this chapter is done, right? Because there were still certain things happening in my life. I wanted to put out this project when I felt like my circle was complete, or at least there's no more of this narrative like, oh, Keshan's this or Keshan's that. Like, I don't have to hear that anymore. Like, my circle understands how I am. I'm at peace now, and now I can put all of this out, and it's just like a huge weight off my chest because, yeah, like, now you guys can have this, and it comes from a real place, you know? It
definitely comes from a real place. You can hear the lyrics, like, in the song, and as you know, when you're going through the album. And then let's talk about, so there's the Nicest Villain, and then there's a part 2, right? Right. Yeah. So, which is, because Drake just put out, like, you know, multiple albums at the same time too, but the extension of this part 2, there's a song called Love Somebody, which we just talked about. Yeah. That, and then there's Birds. Birds is unbelievable. Thank you. The lyrics in that song is like, I had to stop. I was just like, but you're speaking. And you know what I think what it is also maybe sometimes women are always looking for like answers. Right. That's the problem, right? Yeah. They're just like, give me an answer. And when you give them an answer, it's not the right answer. Right. And after here, because Birds comes right after Love Somebody. Right. Right. And I was just like, dang, do you know what I mean? And that, after listening to those back to back, then I was like, I need to go back and listen from the beginning to the end. So I was up till 2:00 in the morning.
I appreciate that.
Oh no, I mean, but I wanted to, because I mean, like for me, like I love, you have an old soul about you. You know what I mean? Like you're very wise. Like you can feel it, you know, like, which is a positive. I'm an energy person. Energy doesn't lie.
I appreciate
right?
that.
It doesn't lie. So when I was like, okay, this makes sense. And then I was hearing the song, the lyrics, and I was like, oh, you definitely had some ups and downs with some crazy girls, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also, you were frustrated, correct? About like how you were being honest, and you're like, I'm trying to do my best for you and for me.
Yes.
And you're screwing this up, but I'm going to look like the bad guy.
Not getting anywhere, being
right?
honest. Yeah.
You know, and that's basically, whoever that girl is, she definitely screwed that up. But, you know, it's one of those things that I think women are going to be like, oh, like, you know, there's actually really good guys out there. It's not just 100%. About that, you know? So that's how it spoke to me. Maybe I'm just putting my own personal spin on it.
Pretty accurate. I mean, obviously you tell a girl you're an artist, she's like a red flag. Like, what do you mean you're an artist? Like, what, you're a rapper? Like, you know, or like it's all Toronto rappers, this, that, a third.
Yeah.
Whatever. But like everybody has relationship problems. Like I'm not perfect as well. Like I learned from both of those relationships that I'm mainly talking about, or the three that I'm mainly talking about. So I learned a lot, and, you know, I can hold myself accountable for my mistakes, but it's hard being the only person that holds, like, you know, like that's facing some sort of accountability for things like, okay, I'm taking 100% of this blame, but you did X, Y, Z, and I'm just supposed to just hold that. Like, you know what I mean? So that's where the frustration comes in, because when I'm doing things correctly or I'm being honest and stuff, it's not getting me anywhere. Do
you feel like there's a gap between communication between people these days?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I feel like for me, for Behind the Cut, you know, the reason why I started this podcast is to tell the untold stories of the music industry, the fashion industry. I feel there's a lack of, you know, communication between artists and society, artist and partner, artist and family. Like, I'm still sure my parents don't know how I pay my bills, but they know that I'm in Toronto and I'm on TV and I walk runways. Like, do you know what I mean? And my father's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? So I feel communication's really big for me. And I feel like about 2 years ago, you know, because when you take different chapters of your life and you're an artist and you release things, and it's just like, it's not, you know, when it's a responsibility you have to yourself, but I don't think people realize that every day we get up, we choose to do this.
Yeah.
And this is our life. Like, not out here to be, you know, I always said that my life isn't about champagne and red carpets. It's like, that's fun, but I'd rather be home cooking, but I had to pay my bills too.
Right. Exactly.
So the lack of communication, I feel during the pandemic, really put a spin on things. Yeah. And I think people went into survival mode, and women especially, I would think at some points, because you lean into that. But if you're not accountable for your actions, that's like, you know, if you can sit down and have a conversation with somebody, it's like, okay, square it out. But if only one person's taking accountability, what are you going to do with that?
It's a dead end, you know?
Here comes toxic, right? Yeah. Because then it's like, okay, so now I've admitted my wrongs, and you're going to take that and use it against me. Right. And then, no, I'm not going to do that.
You did nothing wrong. So,
right? Yeah, no, I feel you. Okay, so let's talk about part 2, because you said that you have 2 different types of fan base. So the nicest villain, let's break down like what both sides mean. So let's start with the nicest villain, and then we'll move into the second part.
Nicest villain is like, there's a lot more grit to it.
So
like the beginning of the album, there's a lot more, even on the production, it sounds villainous. Like, it sounds like you're watching a movie and there's a villain, and then when it gets to halfway, I'm having fun now, right? That's why I like Vogue and like certain songs. It's like Pedro. I'm really having fun.
It's like you're teasing.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because how long did you think I was gonna just take 100% of the accountability and be this person that you're painting me out to be? And this goes for not even just like women. It goes for some of my relationships with like friends, with like my male friends that I've had to cut off, right? So it actually goes for both. And I'm just like, bro, there's things that you've done that I just can't accept anymore.
Because you wouldn't do that.
Exactly. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm proud of you for that. That's really great. That's an advancement.
But when people poke at you, there's a point where you put your foot down. And usually at that point, when you put your foot down is where the narrative of you being the villain comes out. Because depending on how you put your foot down can create that, right? So part one of that Nicest Villain, it's really just that grit that's there, which is why sonically it's more melodic trap and, you know, I'm rapping a bit more. Whereas on KYSEAN, which is the second part of it, it's like softer.
It is
talking about my relationships and stuff, specifically with certain women. So yeah.
It's so funny because like I went through my own, you know, things in the last few years. I came to a conclusion. There's this saying. It's just like, I'm okay with being the villain in your story.
Absolutely.
I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
Let me be that person because I'm good. So when you're at peace with yourself, most people, it's problems for them, not necessarily for you. But cutting people out, it's hard. Do you know what I mean? I've done the same thing. Like my circle is very small. I had to stop bringing people to events because they wanted gift bags or this, you know, and you have to look at why are you here, you know? And I feel like listening to your album, it's like you kind of have more direction of where you're going in general.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing is I want to get down to the grit of it is what is something that people don't know about Keshan? Like, what is that the world, because you don't really, the fact that you're here at my podcast right now, very grateful. You don't really like speak. You're not, you know, you're quiet, you're reserved.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen much about you online.
Right.
You know,
yeah, I'm kind of like if you know, you know, kind of
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I also feel that a lot of people are more relatable to you than what, you know, meets the eyes, especially in the male factor for one.
Yeah.
But what people don't know about you that you would want them to know?
Well, something I don't know. Like I'm kind of not a typical rapper, I guess, right? I think people, when they see a rapper, they're looking for like a certain type of guy, you know what I mean? Where it's like, for me, like, no, I'm very comfortable with who I am. I'm a guy. I like to watch anime and shit like that. Like, I don't know if I can swear on here, but
no, yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
you know, like I like to watch anime and shit like that. I take my dog out for a walk. Like, a lot of things that people would associate rappers with, like, I actually don't give a shit about. Like, I don't care.
You're more on a simple side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think there was another line. I don't know what song it is. You're just like, I don't want a baby mama. I want. Which one was that?
Oh wow. Yeah. I said
it's so good.
Yeah, I said I want a wife, not a baby mama, but that's life, you know. Like
and I like again like speaking like the story, and it's just like I just want to find you a wife. I can't wait to meet her. When I meet her, I'm gonna be like, congratulations. You know, but it's good because you're being honest. You know what I mean? But it's just also like your peace, like to wake up. It's not like you're not about the glitz and the glam, I feel. Because I feel like in certain retrospects, the stereotypical way that people speak of musicians, especially rappers, you know, that they expect a certain thing. Yeah. And that's not who you are.
Multiple BMs, you know? And there's no shade. Like I said in the song.
No shade at all.
In the song, it's life.
I love me a good rapper. What are you talking about? I'm here for it. I'm just like, I'm talking about you right now, you know?
It's life. Like, I come from a very mixed family. My family is huge. So, like,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, my family is pretty big, and, you know, everybody was doing their thing, clearly, you know what I mean? Because I have half siblings and whatnot. So at the end of the day, I'm not, there's no shade. It's just more so what I want for myself, right? Like, I know the struggles that come with having half siblings. It's a lot more effort to have a relationship with your sibling when the home is broken, right? So when I look at my future, it's like, yeah, I can prefer to not want that. Like, I can prefer something different, even though this is the norm, you know? It is what it is.
I love that for you, though. I love that you're the example of that. I think that, so you said there was a lot of songs on this record. So this was very, like, personal. Was there song that you didn't release because it was too personal and you just held on to it?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Because even on KYSEAN, on the song Mind Games, produced by Daniel Worthy, which was, like, he's an amazing producer. And on that song, I said at the end, I'm like, I should drop your first name in my next rhyme, but I'm not going to do that. And, like, sometimes you get so emotional, like you're getting everything off your chest. You want to say a lot more, but, like, in my head, it's like, yeah, I'm going to put this out. So I probably shouldn't stir the pot too much. You know, I know some people are going to hear it and they're going to know it's about them. It is what it is.
But isn't that part of being an artist, though?
Yeah.
So is this like, did you not want the smoke, or do you think it was better for a different release?
Oh, the smoke was there already. Nothing, you know what I mean? The smoke was there. Now it's just like, here's the recap and we're moving on. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, it's like there are songs where I'm extremely unfiltered and I'm like, damn, even though I don't like this person, this might rub the people that I do like the wrong way because they still are affiliated with this person. So let me tone it down just a little bit.
Do you think that makes you different from the stereotypical rapper who would literally like call people out? Like,
absolutely,
you know, is that part of the process?
Yeah, I have fun calling people out in different ways.
You're very smart. That's how, you know, especially like, you know, I mean, we've been following each other on Instagram for a minute. So, you know, the way you are on Instagram, it's very entertaining to me, but you're very silent killer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Cause like sometimes like I spare people sometimes, but then sometimes I am very direct at times as well. Right. Like there's times where I will say something to somebody by name. Like I've gotten into it a few times. But at the same time, it's like, why did I have to bring up your name or call you out directly like that? Obviously, it's gotten to a point where, fuck it. It's, you know, we're here.
That's my motto. Fuck it. Yeah. 0 fucks given for 2026.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I said, we were talking earlier. There's probably one thing that hasn't been said about me in Toronto. Stories.
Right.
Perfect. If I am the topic of your conversation, your life must be boring.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because like people will have stories about you. They'll tell other people. But when it's time to address everything, nobody wants to have the conversation.
No.
We can all have this conversation. Let's all put our dirt on the table. That's all, you know what I mean? But no one wants to do that. Why? Like, because you're omitting information when you're telling these stories.
It's 150%. That's what I'm saying. If anyone has an issue, it's like, you can come sit in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like having closed conversations about people, there's just no communication and it's just distant, and there's no need for that. Like, you know, that's bad energy, and you can feel that, you know, sometimes when you walk into a room, and some things are worth it and some things are not.
Right.
So, you know,
right.
Definitely. I hear you for sure. But your Instagram is very entertaining to me. I definitely enjoy that. Okay. So your creative process, what is the part of the creative process people don't see? Cause I feel like, I know that you said you're not the guy that's in the studio. So let's roll back to that for a second. Like,
yeah, so I don't live in the studio. I only go there for something to say. I don't like nighttime studio sessions at all. I know a lot of people, like, when they think rapper, like, oh, he's in the studio every night. Nope. I usually go to the studio around 10 in the morning, 1 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Those are my times to go record and, like, really, like, get to work. Because I'm going there with the intent, like, to work. Like,
not to party.
It's also a release, yes, but it's, like, I'm going there to get this off. And obviously, like, I don't partake in certain things. Like, speaking of partying, like, there's no point in me partying in the studio because I don't drink or smoke. So it just doesn't match, right? So, yeah.
How are you not married? I don't know. We're going to find you a wife. That's going to be my goal, is to find you a wife. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's so funny. Okay, so I guess the other thing is that there's been a lot of things going on about Toronto culture. Obviously, there's been some beef between the West and all these things.
Right.
What do you think, and we're not going to go there, but I just want to know, what do you think people misunderstand about Toronto culture? Because, I mean, I think that there's...
Man.
Because, I mean, I could talk all day about the fashion industry and the Canadian fashion, but when it comes to music and Toronto culture, like, what do you think is the biggest misunderstanding?
The biggest misunderstanding, which is absolutely insane to me because I don't get how it's a misunderstanding, is the fact that we're a melting pot. So a lot of other places that stumble across Toronto music and Toronto artists, like, we get this... They almost mock us in a sense where it's like, why are they talking like that? Or, like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, we have so many people here of different backgrounds. Of course we talk different. Like, of course, you know, we have the Caribbeans here, we have Indians here, we have Italians here, we have Spanish people. Like, what do you mean? Like, of course there's going to be a mixture and everyone's going to sound a little bit different than from what you're used to, right? We're a lot more tuned into where we come from over here. So, and that reflects in the music as well. And I think that it's weird how people don't get that because, like, this is just the facts. You can go to Toronto and spend a week here and understand that. You know what I mean? So, that's
because, weird. I mean, if you go to New York, it's the same thing.
Right.
Right? So, what is the difference between Canada and the United States? Like, because, I mean, in the fashion industry, I mean, I could speak to that for days, you know, especially New York Fashion Week. Canadian Fashion Week. Like there's so many, you know, we don't Toronto Fashion Week is no longer here. You know, it's just, there's different platforms, but when it comes to, I guess, Canada as a whole, what is your perspective as when we were younger, when I was younger, because I'm definitely older than you, you could tell what Canadian television was, you know? Do you know that aspect?
Right.
So when I'm, you know, traveling, and because I'm from Newfoundland, you know, I won't tell people I'm from Newfoundland because nobody knows where that is. Right. Especially in the States. It's like, when I say from Toronto, they kind of go like this, like what, like, and it's just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, is it, and this was before all that beef was going on. I think there was still a misrepresentation. Right. What do you think that we can do to, you know, educate people about that? Like, how are the other artists? Like, what do you think that they can do?
We got to just keep letting our nuts hang. I'll be honest. Like, there's no other way to go about it. It's like, you know, Drake is Drake, Tory is Tory, party is party, the weekend is the weekend. Like, Justin Bieber is Justin Bieber. Like, bro, there's so many Canadians that are like just dominating the industry, period. And then also like outside of music too, we have athletes here, we have people in fashion. Like, we're doing our thing. So if you don't get it, then you just don't get it. And we just have to keep letting our nuts hang and just deal with it.
People are just asking for problems and attention. It's just,
of course,
keep their mouth going, right?
Yeah, because if you could do it, then just do it. But it's not our fault that we have a lot of greatness that comes from Canada. Like, that's not our fault.
That's one of the lyrics in your song, right? What is it? You were saying about the reason why you're mad is because you can't do what I do. Like, yeah. And it's true, right? Yeah. So it's really good. Like, you definitely tell the story. So I love old school R&B and hip hop from 1990s, 2000s. Like, my favorite, I guess, like, video and song is Dilemma with Kelly Rowland and Nelly, right? Like, I love it. I'm just like, because, you know, it's a whole, like, you know, but it's a story,
right? You
know? So what's your favorite video from back then?
Man, my favorite video from back in the day might have been The Dream, Love Your Girl. I just love how
that is not what I expected to come out of your mouth.
Really? I just love how everything was set up. Like the whole, like, I'm watching it. I feel like I was in the club. Like, I felt like I was there. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like that was it just told the story so well. You know what I mean? So
I feel like those videos, like the music videos back in the day, they're the original fashion films.
Right.
Do you know? Like, there was so much thought and, like, the storytelling and, like, you know, the people and the hair and makeup and the fashion. Because, like, fashion and music go hand in hand. But that was a very special time for music creation for videos, for sure. Okay, I'm going to do a rapid fire with you right now.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Studio or stage?
Stage.
Fame or freedom?
Freedom.
Success or peace?
Peace.
Legacy or recognition?
Legacy.
One artist you think people should study?
Michael Jackson.
Obviously. Damn, this is so good. Okay. One lesson the industry has taught you?
Nothing is worth your freedom.
One thing you're protecting in this season of your life?
My peace.
That went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I guess the other thing is, what's coming up for Keshan? Like, are you going to be touring? Do you have anything in the works with OVO? Like, what's going on?
So right now, what we're looking to do is just really push these two projects and put out as much content as possible. Shows, obviously, as well, and, like, just be in the mix a lot more where it matters and where, like, you know, I really see myself being there. And as far as OVO goes, you know, whenever Roy calls me, if he needs anything, then I'm always open to working with him. I mean, me and Roy are actually brothers outside of the music, so
I bet.
Yeah, like, it's a lot deeper with music when it comes to him, because we've known each other from before he was signed, and we made music, like,
you did your tour before with him, right? You guys toured together at one point?
Yeah, multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
I sat next to him at a fashion show one time. I produced a fashion show for Prescribed Shelter.
Fire. Yeah.
And it was for Fashion Art Toronto. Mm-hmm. And they wanted Roy Woods, obviously, because Lone, he does all of Roy's fits.
Very talented, yeah.
Lone is very talented. He made a outfit for me, like a first dress he's ever made for the Canadian Fashion Awards.
Okay.
And I went, and everyone was like, "This is the best outfit you ever." You know, like, who is this person? Because I love new talent, right? I love finding talent. And I sat next to Roy. He's so calm. Like, his energy is just like, you know, I didn't want to bother him, you know? Like, and then at the end of it, I was like, "Roy, can I get a selfie?" He's like, "For sure." And then, you know, but very, you know, he was there. Everyone was so happy he was there. Such a, like the vibe, like that type of energy, you can't, it's unmatched, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
having you here in front of me now, we've definitely had more conversation, him and I. Yeah. Maybe we can get Roy on the podcast.
Maybe, actually.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to have Roy Woods on my podcast. I think that I can see why the two of you are aligned. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, and your voices.
He's very genuine.
Yeah.
He's a very genuine person. And, like, that's what I need. Yes, he does.
He cares.
Yeah.
And you can see that, you know, like.
And I think that's what matters. Like, that's why, like, even for me, it's like everyone around me has to have that sort of genuineness to them. Because if me and Roy have had arguments before, and, like, it gets, like, we talk, like, about our issues. Did you guys
raise your voices, or were we just very, like, soft and talking back? Like, what's the argument?
We don't really raise our voices, but, like, we've had conversations. I remember there was one time, I went to go meet him in LA, and I started off the conversation. I was like, "Listen, we might not be friends after this conversation, but we have to have this conversation, right?" And he was like, "For sure." Like, you know, like, he's just all about communication. So, and obviously, like, that actually strengthened our friendship. So, you know, that's really what counts. I think that all friendships should have that open communication. Like, you should be able to have a conversation with someone if you actually care about them.
Especially with artists, right? Yeah. Like, as artists, I can only imagine, because, like, there's a competition factor, you know, like, there's that. I mean, if, you know, he signed OVO, like, you're under Drake's umbrella, like, that's a lot of pressure, but also he carries it so well, and you know that he wants to pull people up. I've seen him do it
100%.
And not everyone wants to pull you up. You know, and you can see that. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it with Swagger Wright. I've seen him do it with multiple artists, and he carries it well. And, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, when I was sitting next to him at the fashion show, I was like, I can't talk to this man. Like, he's just like, everyone's like staring at him, and he's just like so cool. And I was just like, I'm like running around trying to produce, but he was so calm and kind, and, like, you know, you could tell that he cared. So even having that experience, and I mean, I love energy, you know this, right? It was nice to see that. But then afterwards, when you see him working with certain people and the way he moves and who he puts in his videos, you know, he's for the community. He wants to see everybody win. He wants everyone to get the bag. His manager Banks is the same way. Yeah. Like, they want to see people win. And there's not many artists like that. Like, there's a few, like, K Forest is like that. Good Bad Ugly is like that. But it's not many artists. Like, for a group of artists to come together and share gems with each other to help you go forward, like, Roy is in that mix, and the names that I mentioned just now are in that mix, but it's not much, which is, I would love to change that in Toronto, because I feel like we'd be even more ahead. But, you know, I think the same thing in the fashion industry, you know. Again, people are trying to pay their bills, and, you know, my experience is that when you start winning, you realize who actually wants to see you win. And there's people who help you, and they never think you're going to get to their level. And then when you surpass them, instead of them being happy for you, because you can put them in situations, you know, they think you're going to, like, leave them. So for me personally, I've had to, like, let people go, because I can't have you in my camp if you're going to be projecting that on me. Like, I want to see people win. I want everyone to see, you know, that I generally, like, I mean, I'm known for it, you know, like, I work with artists, you know, even when I worked with Loans, you know, I was in New York. I get a phone call. Swags calls me. He's like, I want you to go check my friend. I'm like, sure. And I go check Loan, and I walk into his studio, and like, the patterns and everything. I was like, holy shit. And we had he's so chill, and he also carries a very wide responsibility, and he wants everyone to win as well. And I worked with them for about a year, and then I moved on to do other things, as we do. But it's seeing his talent and how pristine, but you know, I've realized about all of you, the people, you know, like you, let's say you, Roy, and Lone, it's the calmness. right? And in order to be successful, you have to be calm. You have to be able to control your energy because there's so much energy being thrown at you.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone wants a piece of that energy. Absolutely, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Hence, Nicest villain and the story, because they weren't getting what they wanted, and then you had enough. Yeah. So the release of that, I guess the one thing I'd want to leave with is, what do you want people to know about this album, feel about this album in years to come? Like, what is your purpose?
I want people to know there's always another side. So it's like, you know, you might have an impression of somebody, or you might have been told something about somebody, but at the end of the day, there's always another side, and people are not as forthcoming as they seem when they tell you things. So, you know, if you care enough, then maybe you can go for yourself and do the research and have the conversations you need to have. But that's the message of the album. That's what I want people to remember when they listen to the album, is that there's always another side. And sometimes, if no one asks for your side, just shut up and keep it moving, because you're going to end up stressing yourself out. So
let's talk about the release date, the 7/7. There was a portal yesterday. Was there anything to do with that? Is that anything to do with
No, it wasn't that deep. Honestly,
I was like,
it's just my favorite number.
Myself last night, I was like, wait, now what does all this mean? I'm like, no,
it's my favorite number. You know, my best friend is born in July, so I just figured, you know, if I can drop something in July, and it's summertime, you know how Toronto is in the summertime, it's a place to be. So, like, perfect timing. And it's a lucky number. Like,
it is a lucky number. But there's also a portal yesterday, so it tells you how aligned you are with your, you know, your energy.
Yeah.
Is there any point that you questioned your career in music?
No, because, like, this is gonna sound interesting, because I don't want to sound arrogant, but, like, for me, it was like, I'm gonna make music regardless. I'm gonna be in music regardless. And I'm also going to be fine regardless if music blows up or if it doesn't. Like, I'm going to make money. I'm going to have a good business sense to me. So, like, I'm fine. I love making music. I'm doing this for the passion. Anything that happens out of that is just a cherry on top. But realistically, like, I've already put myself in a position to make sure I'm good. Like, I need to make money, whether it's more so from music or other things that I'm doing, then whatever. But if it's from music, then great, that's amazing, but I'm always going to do it. So I just never questioned it.
That's a really solid answer, Keshan. Is there a difference between Keshan the artist and Keshan the person?
Slightly, you know,
but you're pretty much
the same. I'd say there's a slight difference. I mean, the people, like my team, for example, like, you met my assistant, like, she'll tell you I'm a lot more crazy behind the scenes. Like, I have a lot of energy when it's just me and my team bouncing on that. You ever watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you ever see the speeches he gives to the people? And, like, that's pretty much me. Like, I'm insane. And then I'm quiet after that, you know? So
I'm not really surprised by that. I feel like when we connected on Instagram and we were chatting, and I you know, we were talking about how you are, when I saw you were at the beach yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was nice to see that side of you on Instagram, as opposed to you, like, very, very silently, like, saying things. It's just like, you know what? It's out now. I don't care. I'm done. Pete, like, you
exactly, know. Yeah.
And that person is very, but I feel like you keep that for certain people.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You protect your energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about the album or what's coming?
What I can say is just expect a lot more features next time.
Are you going to be doing maybe a part 2 with what you've already recorded?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you going to come back on the podcast and talk about this?
For sure, man.
That's
amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today. I think you're brilliant. I'm so excited to watch what's coming. Because you know, you definitely have this old soul, and I think that you're really good for the Toronto culture and music, and it's nice to see the structure of how you put things out, especially that it's, you know, there's so many age ranges it could go across, which is really difficult to target, because usually it's a different pocket. But I mean, I don't think that sky's the limit for you, Keshan, for sure.
Thank you. See, that's the energy I need.
I mean, I'm here. We're friends now. So anytime you need to pick me up, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I know who to call now, you know?
Can you please speak into this camera, state your name, where to find you, anything else you would like them to know?
Okay, my name is Keshan once again, and you can find me on all social media platforms, Keshan the Don. DSPs, just Keshan, KYSEAN. Tune in and enjoy the music, and yeah, I'll see you next time.
My name is Lindsay Anne Delaney. It's time to put down the camera, pick up the mic. This is Behind the Cut.